I'm now ordering you not to have any contact with this person whatsoever. Do you understand?
When the defendant began to punch the second complainant in the face with a closed fist, causing pain. Landed on her left knee. Total taken was $750.05.
Welcome to Bench Report Court Cam.
That might be the complaining witness. Good morning, Mr. Rodriguez Moreno. Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're also charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Yes, Judge. On December 8th, 2024, the officers were on patrol and were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas in response to a disturbance and unknown weapon call. The officer performed a public service to the female caller, the complainant, and spoke with the caller, and the caller was upset, sad, hysterical, and crying. The officer heard the caller say, "Come help me, please," and where she was in the apartment. The officer made it to the 7th floor and observed a male standing in the hallway, packing and unpacking a bag. The officer received confirmation that the male was the defendant by the complainant, and the defendant ran into the apartment and locked the front residence door. The officer knocked multiple times and announced himself as police, and the complainant answered the door, crying, upset, and frightened. The officers instructed the complainant to walk outside, and she did as instructed, and the officer observed the defendant following behind the complainant. The officer grabbed the defendant as he was standing inside the apartment near the front door and pulled the defendant to the hallway and detained him. The defendant was informed that he was detained for family violence and continually tried to enter his apartment while being handcuffed. The defendant impeded the investigation by attempting to enter his apartment multiple times, and the defendant also impeded the investigation when the officers were escorting him to the patrol vehicle and refusing to get inside the vehicle. The officer asked the defendant to get inside the vehicle multiple times, but he refused, and the officer had to use force to get the defendant inside the vehicle. The complainant advised the defendant is her boyfriend and they have been in a relationship for 20 months. The complainant advised they do not live together and that they had both been drinking alcohol. And as a result of going to the Lincoln bar today, they were inside the suspect's vehicle when they were leaving the bar when the defendant began hitting on and flirting with other girls. The complainant advised the suspect was antagonizing deputies and security at the bar and driving around in circles at the bar, attempting to get the deputies to engage him in a fight. The complainant advised she informed the defendant that, she informed the defendant that she wanted him to stop flirting with and hitting on other girls, and the complainant advised that this made the defendant mad, and as a result, he pulled her by the hair inside the vehicle. The complainant advised she felt pain when the defendant pulled her by the hair.
Okay. I see that he has a prior same complaining witness.
Let me see, Your Honor.
It's from April of this year.
It is the same complainant, Your Honor.
Mr. Rodriguez Moreno, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you not to have any contact with this person whatsoever. Do you understand? If I find that you have contact, I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my public at all cost. Do you understand? If that means putting you in and making your bond high, I will do it in a heartbeat. I'm now placing a protective order on this person. She is now a protected individual. If you try to have contact with this person, if you try to use another person to try to have contact, if you threaten, if you harass, if you're in possession of a weapon, if you go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works, the state can and may file. I want you to listen to me, and I want you to hear me loud, and I want you to hear me clear, Mr. Rodriguez Moreno. Because if there's one person that will be at fault, it's because you didn't hear me sufficiently. Hear me now, because you will not get any more warnings. This protective order is going in place. And if you violate it one iota, The state can file additional charges on you, a violation of protective order. You violate those conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at zero bond. Zero bond, and I'll do it in a heartbeat to protect every single person. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're also not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I will randomly test you. If I find that you're using, likewise, you will go in. I will revoke your bond. Do you understand? We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you first go to, do we have
I was
protective
gonna ask
order?
if I can get a court order.
He does have December 9.
Hmm?
He does have a court order. December 9. It was the issue.
What do you do for a living?
Construction, I built and installed.
Okay, I need you to fill out an application. I don't know whether you qualify. Did I give you a free lawyer in April? I did. Now you're here. 5 months later, back, another charge, same complaining witness. I'll have you fill out an application. I'll take a look, but I want every single line filled out. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Rodriguez, Laura, page 16. Judge, this is Rodriguez, Lorena.
Are you Laura Rodriguez? Ms. Rodriguez, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. The officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in response to a family disturbance. The first complainant, the defendant's mother, and the second complainant, the defendant's sister, told the officers that the first complainant and the defendant were arguing and that the defendant pushed the first complainant with both hands, causing pain. The second complainant witnessed this push and attempted to separate the two when the defendant began to punch the second complainant in the face with a closed fist, causing pain.
Okay. Ms. Rodriguez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. So what is the relation?
So the relationship is the first complainant is the mother and the second complainant is the sister.
We only have one complainant because there's only one charge.
So, yes, Judge.
So
So on this case, let me read the information to see.
I only have jurisdiction over one person,
Judge.
so. And then do we know, is there alcohol or any kind of,
There's no allegations of alcohol, Your Honor, and in this case, the complainant is the mother.
got it. All right. Ms. Rodriguez, I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If you do, if you pick up a new case, you violate any conditions, no more PR bonds. There's a protective order that has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you violate the protective order, the state can and will file additional charges against you. What do you do for a living, ma'am? What do you do for a living?
Part-time. I help my dad in one of his businesses, and I just actually got another part-time job at Kohl's at Sephora as a beauty advisor.
Okay, and how much money do you make a month?
I would say about $450 a month.
Okay, would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, ma'am?
Yes, yes, sir.
Deputy's going to give you an application. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions that you're not to have contact and no weapons. All right, ma'am? Okay, please.
One more Spanish speaking arraignment, that was Martinez on 10. Just waiting for Victoria.
Ready for the next one? Martinez, come on up.
Juan Manuel, come on up. Hey, keep it down. Juan Manuel Martinez.
Yes, sir.
So you're charged with assault of a family member. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The complainant and the defendant are married. On December 5th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in reference to a family disturbance. Officer met with the complainant, who stated the defendant arrived home intoxicated. The defendant was still in his car, and she went over to remove the keys from the ignition. The defendant walked up to the complainant, landed on her left knee, and caught herself with her left hand. The complainant stated she felt pain from being pushed and from hitting the ground.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I am now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. Do you understand? I don't know what your immigration status is, but I'm going to give you a warning now. And this is the only warning that you're going to get. If you're not in this country with permission, you violate the laws and you go to jail, and immigration finds you there, they will put a detainer on you and you will sit in jail until this case is over with. And then you will be shipped off to immigration, where you will sit for another 6 to 9 months waiting for immigration to do whatever they're going to do. If you do not want that to happen, do not violate the conditions I put on your bond now. If you violate these conditions, I will issue a warrant, put you in jail, and that's it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like I said, no alcohol, no illegal drugs. You will be randomly tested. If you fail to go test, likewise, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. A protective order was issued in this case on December 6th. I suggest that you get to know it. If you violate the protective order, the state can, possibly will file a violation of protective order against you, and it's one of the worst cases that you can pick up in misdemeanor court. Do we know whether she wants to have contact with him, guys?
Your Honor, no, RIP was attempted, but she was unable to speak at the time that we called. So we'll call again when we can.
I don't know whether she wants to have contact with you. So until I know that, I'm ordering you not to have contact with this person. I don't care what your excuse is. Excuses mean absolutely nothing to me. What matter are choices. You can either make a wise choice or you can make the wrong choice. You know what the expectation is here, and if you make the wrong choice, there's only one place we have for you. Do you understand? No alcohol, no illegal drugs, no weapons. Don't have any contact with this person, and don't violate the protective order. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to first have you go to Victoria Center reset. I'll have you meet with Felicia for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go.
Greta Halil, age 3.
Good morning, Mr. Craddock. Mr. Craddock, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Yes, Judge. One moment. It's loading right now. Okay. An officer was dispatched to a target in response to a theft. The officer made contact with the complainant, the loss prevention officer, who stated he observed the defendant come into the store and make a small purchase, leave, and then return and conceal merchandise in the shopping bags. The defendant then took the concealed merchandise and walked past all points of sale without paying. The total taken was $750.05.
And was he with anyone?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Craddock, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. How old are you, sir? What do you do for a living?
I am currently waiting for a call to back so I can working.
Say it again.
I am waiting for a college to get back to me, but I'm currently working at Taco Bell.
So you graduated from high school? Yes. Okay. Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir?
Would it be okay if I ask my mom that?
Is your mom here? Sure, of course. Mom, come on up. Thank you so much for coming. Did you hear what happened? Okay. I'm asking him if he wanted to apply for an appointed lawyer. I don't want to talk about the case. I only would like to know, do you want a court-appointed lawyer?
This is his first. This is never been in trouble.
Let's not talk about the case.
Oh, come on.
I only want to know whether you guys would like a lawyer or not. Let me put it to you this way. You need a lawyer.
I was about to say yes, sir.
So you can either go hire a lawyer, right? Mr. Craddock, theft cases are probably one of the worst possible cases that you can pick up in this life. Once you are branded a thief, it's going to be nearly impossible to get a job. I have people that come back to me and say, hey man, I can't get this apartment because I got this theft conviction. Please. It's truly one of the worst. You're just now starting in life. Life is hard enough for a young black man in this society. Now you're going to make it even harder. Come on, man. Really? Go to school, study hard. You become something in this life. We'll give you a lawyer now. Don't go back to any Target. It's a part of your bond condition. If I find that you go back to Target, guess what happens? Right. I'm not asking much. Just follow the law. Don't pick up any new cases. Don't go back to Target. And then I'll provide you a lawyer today. All right? Okay, guys. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take your seat in the jury box. I need you to fill out an application for me, and then we'll have you talk to someone. Okay?
Thanks for watching. Stick around longer and click the highlighted videos to your right. See you there.